There's never been a time where faking it till you make it actually works. Until now. Performative masculinity. Just be yourself. LARPing. What do these actually mean? And is there any truth to them? I want to start with a quick story. So, when I was a freshman in college, and let me preface this by saying that I was a weirdo. Let me just get that out the way. And I was a weirdo for a myriad of reasons. I didn't know who I was as an individual. I was just trying to fit in with whoever I thought was willing to take me on as a friend, I guess. And that showed itself in trying to act a certain way to appeal and not to rub people the wrong way. Super awkward moments in which people who I thought were my friends at that time were like, "Oh yeah, we're going here." And I'd be like, "Oh, cool, let me grab something." And they're like, "No, we're going here." And it's like, geez, man, now I understand like who's the core friend group and what my role is was just like an extra. I was a side character. I was an NPC for real. And I just felt like people weren't buying that act I was putting on. And I just kept on telling myself and thinking to myself, I just need to be more confident, or I need to be more like these people so we'll have more in common and stuff and they'll take me on in that way.
Stupid.
And at the time, I thought the problem was simple. But looking back, that wasn't it. The problem was I was trying to perform a version of myself instead of actually becoming someone. And that's where LARPing comes in. LARPing isn't just pretending, it's performing an identity you haven't earned yet and eventually believing it. And right now, this isn't rare. Like this is pretty normal. This is regular degler. Social media in particular makes it so easy to look like something without actually being it. Bro, anyone can front being rich on social media. Anyone can front being in the gym. I can go grab my phone and tripod, set it up in the gym, you know what I mean? Do 3 reps, cut the video, and then, you know what I mean, leave. I could make myself look so raw even in the gameplay. I could play for 7 hours and only get 4 kills, and those 4 kills are the only 4 kills that you're gonna see, even though I had like 70 deaths. You know what I'm saying? We're all performing. And in this world, you can look successful without results, disciplined without discipline, and confident without doing anything hard. But then you got to ask yourself, why is this happening now? Well, one, the algorithms of all of our social medias and things of that nature reward appearance over reality. Confidence is rewarded more than competence, and zero barriers to entry on a lot of these platforms can make anyone look like anything. And then also there's this validation loop that people are encouraged to perform because it's rewarded by likes and comments and people, oh geez, you're so this, that, and the third. And people be turning them up. You know what I'm saying? Reality is slow, but the internet is instant. I could post a TikTok video and if I'm LARPing hard enough, people and it blows up, it could be I could go to sleep and wake up the next day and all these people are telling me how great I am, or they're trolling me. Like it just depends. But the internet is instant. And some modern examples of this is performative masculinity, like we touched on. And it's simply like acting like a man instead of just putting in the work to become one. And when people say be yourself, just be yourself. What if yourself isn't built yet? Like I know for myself, I was under construction for a long time and I really still am. Like I had no idea who I am, what I wanted to be. I didn't know what I wanted people to think of me when they thought of me, if that makes sense. And I know now that it's not the end of the world if, oh, someone doesn't like me, woo, woo, woo. But back then it meant the world to me. You know what I mean? Oh, if they thought I was weird, oh, no, I must be a weirdo.
Plug.
And the reality is, that's really a whole different video of how people see you and how that affects your character. So we're just going to keep on moving. There's people who are entrepreneurial LARPs. Oh, what do you do? I'm a road runner. I'm a businessman. Oh, what business do you have? Uh, uh, uh. And then that's where it ends because they're not actually a business individual. They're just role playing a business individual. And the same thing with intellectual LARPing. There will be people who will throw a slew of smart sounding words at you but not be able to articulate and prove their point through a line of sound reasoning. They'll be like, "Well, if you look at the and analyze
Stupid.
the reality is, if you can't explain what you're trying to say to a 5 or 6 or 7 year old, you're not able to communicate effectively." And what's crazy is some people will genuinely believe or be convinced that someone is genuinely intellectual or just of a different echelon just because they're able to use some big words and make them feel stupid because they're poor at explaining something. And these are all different masks, but the same idea: appearance over substance. But why is this a problem? Because you start believing your own image. You stop improving and you start optimizing for looking productive instead of actually being productive. The problem is LARPing feels like progress, but it's actually avoidance. In the long term, when you really zoom out, you see no real skills being developed, a fragile identity, and reality exposes you. But be honest, where are you LARPing? And that's the question I had to ask myself. Where am I LARPing? Am I saying I'm disciplined but skipping work? I've been there. To say that I'm building something but I'm just consuming? For sure, that's me. Saying that I'm different, but I be following trends. I've hopped on the bandwagon a few times myself. And the solution is to stop performing. Have y'all seen that meme with SpongeBob with the loose handcuffs on? Because a lot of the times, and I'm even speaking for myself, we will put ourselves into a box that no one else is forcing us into. Like we'll set a standard for ourselves and then perform to give the appearance that we're meeting that standard that no one else is holding us to. So we just need to stop posting what we haven't earned. Build privately. There's nothing wrong with moving in silence. That used to be all the rage. What happened to moving in silence? What happened to really building something before trying to convince other people that you've built something? Because real progress doesn't need validation. Real progress slowly closes the gap until it becomes undeniable. It aligns actions with identity. And I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of benefits to LARPing. Like say that you're at a job that you don't know what you got going on, but if, as long as you're pretending you know what you got going on, people are gonna believe you. But that doesn't mean you're actually building the required skills to someday build something of your own. If you're trying to perform for someone you like or something, what happens when you get into a relationship with them for real? And now you have to keep this performance up the whole time? Or if you're just fronting on the gram and when someone's like, "Oh, you really got that? Let's link up, let's do this, let's do that," but you don't have the substance to back it up. So in a lot of ways, LARPing is meta. Like I can't lie. LARPing is meta like, but that doesn't mean that it is the most long-term beneficial plan for people who are genuinely trying to succeed and make themselves better people. If this message has resonated with you, please consider
Please
subscribing and
subscribe.
hitting that like button. Comment your favorite part, or if you disagree with me, or you do agree with me, just let me know. And then share this with your friend who be LARPing way too much. Or be just sitting on a park bench with a matcha and a feminist book. And there's nothing wrong with matcha or feminist books per se. The problem is when you know good and well in your heart of hearts that that's not you, but you be doing it anyways, that's when you start to lose yourself in the feeble attempt to gain something that probably isn't even worth it at the end of the day. But for real, this is E, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Love, Peace, blessings, and abundance. I'll see you on the next one.